Oh, hi everyone, and welcome to the second to last leg of our charity stream for St. Jude Children's Research Hospitals. Thank you so much for your support today, everyone. We have already beaten our goal of $3,000, but we're not going to stop there. Keep on going. Let's go and see how far we can take this thing. Now, subs and bits will not support the charity. Do not use subs and bits. The hype train is turned off. If you want to support today, use the donate link below the stream or type St. Jude in chat to get the official donate link. Don't go to any back alley dealer donate links. Just come straight to the channel, put St. Jude in, and that's where you'll get the official donate link. That will go straight to Tiltify. It doesn't touch any of our hands. It goes straight to the charity, so you don't need to worry about any of that. We are playing Call of Cthulhu next. We're going to make our donations work as we can. We're not going to use Call of Cthulhu Advantage because no one understands that. Instead, we're going to use D&D Advantage in its place, where we just roll twice and take the best one. There'll also be automatic successes. Alice will incorporate the Deck of Many. If you donate for the Deck of Many, she'll make it work somehow. Also NPCs, boss monsters, fine. Boss monsters, I mean, I don't think either me or Alice knows anything about Cthulhu Mythos, but we have Wikipedia, so hit us.
I've made a boss monster, it's fine.
Oh, you've made one. Oh, do you want to discover what Alice's mystery boss monster is? Oh my goodness, Alice has come prepped, y'all.
Just in case.
So now you have to donate for boss monster because we have to see what it is.
Yeah,
also,
it's true.
A quick note on the sanity system. We're not going to be playing the sanity system as standard because we don't really understand the temporary or permanent insanities. Simply sanity will kind of stand for fear factor today, much like the Batman Begins fear ratio heartbeat monitor. The less sanity we have, the more panicked we may become. That is as basic as we're going. Let's go around and say hello to everyone, starting with my wonderful wife and DM for this session, Alice.
Oh, hi, I'm Alice, or WhiteRabbitPic on Twitter. I'm the other half of the Academy, and I'm very, very excited to be here to run a one-shot of Call of Cthulhu, as I played it yesterday under Grave. So I'm very, very excited for the tables to turn. Otherwise, let's keep going round. All my links are in chat, so...
Let's go round in completely random order next to Greg at Tales from the Grim.
Oh, hello everybody, Grimjack21502, Greg. I am ready to play some Call of Cthulhu. I cannot wait. This is my first time having Alice as my keeper, and I am super excited. First time playing with a lot of people here. So Cthulhu is a great way to bond because it's awful. And terror is fine. Tonight I will be playing Deputy Mayor of Pasadena, Buster Pratt. When I was thinking up Buster Pratt, I thought up this one line to summarize the character. He's not someone that would claim he's a war veteran, but he's someone that wouldn't correct someone that thinks he is one.
Mm-hmm.
That's that.
Beautiful, beautiful. Like I say, completely random order. Next around to Dreamwisp Jen.
Hello, I am Jen Kretschmer. I will be playing Marjorie Agnes Yilke today. She is an antiquarian, focused on some rare and slightly occult antiquities, and she is on her way home, back to New York to visit her family.
It just so happens that sometimes random order is also clockwise order. Next to Flash Fletch, Dustin.
Hey everybody, I'm Dustin Fletcher, or at Flash Fletch on the Twitters. I am one of the co-DMs of D4, and yeah, I'm playing Jack Bing, a photojournalist of the Times out of New York for the newspaper. I'm very excited. I have not played Call of Cthulhu before, but it has been on my bucket wish list for years, and I'm so excited to finally get to play, and I get to finally play under Alice, so I'm super excited.
A treat. As I hastily update my name, noticing that I'm still called Trevor Hacksmith, I am not Trevor Hacksmith in this game. Instead, I will be Billy McGregor. I've come over from Scotland. I've been driving a taxi for a little while. Honestly, at this point, I'm putting the accent on because I don't like talking to people.
Standard. Okay. Excuse me. Let's dive in. The year is 1936, and the port of New York is bustling with excitement. You can hear the seagulls overhead as the people are laughing, chatting, and they're bidding farewell to loved ones, friends, or even just strangers that are feeling the excitement for them as they leave on the trip of a lifetime. This huge ocean liner, the Queen Mary, sits at the dock, and there are people smiling and piling onto this ship. There's staff that are both welcoming and carrying the luggage up these gangplanks, and this huge vessel is just oozing luxury. Every little detail has been taken care of, right down to the staff's uniforms. First of all, we're going to go around. I just would really like a little description of your character. Are they already on the ship? Are they walking onto the ship? And if you're already on the ship, where would you be? Would you be in the bar? Would you be in your room? Would you be in the dining hall? Where would you be? And we will start in the opposite way. We'll start with Scrat, or Billy McGregor, as it is.
Billy McGregor is not the biggest well-built chap. He's probably stands about 5'10", and he's all skin and bones, really. But he's covered it up with a big jumper and a woolly hat, and you wouldn't be able to tell under his beard that his face was thin. So he still looks every bit a Scotsman. He's not the biggest guy. Lots of grey. He likes grey. It reminds him of rain grey. And that was almost a little bit Welsh there, so we'll watch that as we play. I'll be walking up the gangplank onto the ship, actually, as it happens. Having a good old look around at the crowd.
Yeah, you walk up on the gangplank, you can feel it not bend, but you can definitely feel the little judder of movement as you walk up there. You can see the water below you, and that smiling staff member who is in a sort of a very red, smart button-down uniform. He greets you with a very commercial smile, and immediately with his puts his hands out towards you to take your luggage. It's like, "Welcome aboard the Queen Mary, sir. Can I take your luggage?"
Aye, and I'm gonna give him an oilskin sack and just chuck it in his hands.
Sort of checks it. If you would follow me, could I have your ticket, please, so we can take you to your room?
All right, give us that back, and I'm gonna start rifling through the bag for the ticket.
He sort of tries to hold on to it as you jostle it around.
No, that's my groceries. Is that it?
And he sort of not snatches it from you, but takes it very, very quickly. He's like, "Yes, please follow me." And he sort of immediately starts marching forward. And you pass a lot of people on the way in. These people are going backwards and forwards, flooding in and out, families. But it seems to be a lot of older couples or individuals. They're all dressed fairly well. And you're walking down these corridors with that sort of tortoiseshell wooden paneling as you go past the little lamps with those sort of primrose yellow, half-faded shades over the top. And the corridors are lined with doors, staircases, and you can see elevators. And people are going in and out before you arrive at this door. He opens the door for you, walks in, and straight away puts your bag down on this bed. And this one's a pretty basic room. You can see the porthole as you look out. You can see a double bed and like a closet and a bath and a small bathroom. But otherwise, that's pretty much it. And he gives you a bit of a smile. He's like, "Drinks will be served in the dining hall in about an hour, sir."
All right. Hang on a minute. I know how it works. They probably don't pay you enough to even get by, do they, pal? I'm a taxi driver. I know exactly how you feel. Hang on a second. I'm gonna root around my pockets. Here you go. There's a stick of chewing gum.
He had his hands behind his back briefly, sort of rocking backwards and forwards, definitely expecting something else. There's sort of a flash of a moment of disappointment, but then that smile is back. He's like, "Thank you very much, sir." It's,
Sorry, me. I'm like the queen, me. I only carry it on my pocketbook. I don't actually carry cash.
Oh no, this is exactly what I wanted. And he sort of
Aye.
slowly backs out of the room, half bobbing, before closing the door on the latch. And we then head over to Jack Bing. Jack Bing, where are you and what do you look like? Are you traveling with anyone?
I'm not. So Jack is a fairly small guy. Stands about 5'7", very thin and frail, but very lithe on his feet. This is his first assignment, actually getting out of the city and to cover a historic event, the Queen Mary. And so he's probably, I'd say he's trying to get that perfect shot of the ship itself and the people boarding and everything. So he's setting up his press camera as he takes a picture as the flash goes off, and he looks around with just this wide smile on his face before he kind of shakes himself and like steals himself as he gets into like business mode, and he makes his way up to the gangplank, showing his press credentials and his ticket from the Times, and saying that yes, evening, morning, whatever it is. Right, Jack Bing here, Times out of New York, here to cover the story of the century.
Yes, the photographer. As they sort of look down, it's like, would you like me to take your bag straight to your room and you set up as people come in, or would you two like to?
Oh, right, and he like turns around and immediately rushes back to where he left his luggage just sitting there, because he was so enamored and enthralled with what's the ship itself and getting the shot, and he grabs his suitcase and then runs over and sets it down, or sets it down in front of the ticket or bellhop, whatever they're called on the ships.
He sort of stands very upright, does that still very upright bend down to pick up the suitcases, gives you that smile. It's like, this way, sir.
Thank you.
And he too takes you to your room. It's a very similar layout, and once again, drinks will be served in around an hour if you would like to meet down in the dining room.
Thank you very much.
No problem. If you want to have any specifics for the setup for the camera, just let us know.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. I'm gonna head up and try to get some shots. See who else is coming on. I hear there's some big names coming. I hear the deputy mayor of Pasadena is gonna be here. Oh, gonna get that shot. And he like immediately just rushes off, leaving the guy standing there as he kind of checks and has his portable camera with him. He puts it back in his pocket as he like grips his press camera and moves on, adjusting his little cabbie hat that he has, a little slot where he has his little press ticket that says press on it, as he continues on to make his way towards the gangplank again to try to get some shots of the more celebrities and more well-known people that he knows the paper is going to want to see from this event.
Okay, then at this point, Marjorie, you're making your way up the gangplank. You can hear like this, you see more at first, this sort of shuffling little old lady, fairly hunched over, just muttering to herself with those two massive carpet bags. You feel yourself knocked slightly. She's got those very small sort of round spectacles on, just, excuse me, as she sort of like moves you around. But you do see a flash from a camera, almost blinding as you step up.
Oh, pardon me.
Shot for the Times, ma'am.
The Times.
Welcome to the Queen Mary. Ah, yes, the New York Times. Best
Well,
paper ever.
my.
And then he'll kind of let you pose a
New
little
York
bit.
Times. A photograph of me. Marjorie is a little plain looking. she's not especially fancy looking. She has kind of short cropped brown hair, blue eyes. She's dressed in pants and a vest and a tie. Sort of more practical clothes than a lot of the finely dressed ladies who are joining on the ship. And she has a few cases with her, not carpet bags, but actually hard side cases, and then one or two softer bags. And she has a pocket watch, a gold pocket watch with a chain.
You sort of have to strike a pose twice for this, as this bustling old lady again. No, she's just got line of vision, walks straight in front of the first shot, as you get the sort of the top of her head as she sort of like shuffles past. Doesn't really give mind at all. But soon your bags are taken and you are shown your room. And this one is not quite as simple as the last. You can see the odd sort of lamp. There's a desk in there. There's just a little bit more, and it feels just a little bit more luxurious. They've opened all the portholes so that a breeze is coming in. And last but certainly not least, where is the deputy mayor?
Well, Deputy Mayor of Pasadena, Buster Pratt, is telling everybody as he walks towards the Queen Mary and up the gangplank that he is in fact the Deputy Mayor of Pasadena. Hi, Deputy Mayor of Pasadena, Buster Pratt. Buster is the man that has reached a ceiling in his political career, but no one told him yet. He's late 40s, early 50s, and he still has his eyes set on the White House, but he's the Deputy Mayor of Pasadena. Hi, Buster Pratt, Deputy Mayor of Pasadena. Aren't you looking smart? Look at you, plenty rugged. Deputy Mayor of Pasadena, Buster Pratt. He just keeps walking.
Deputy Mayor, shot for the Times.
Oh, sure.
And then the flash will go off, the bulb will go off. And
there's a real mixture around the deputy mayor. You can see that mostly people are like pointing. They've got like their kids and they're sort of pointing towards the deputy mayor. Every now and then you get someone walk past and roll their eyes and try and shuffle up a bit quicker. Then they're trying not to do it, obviously. But I feel like Buster Pratt wouldn't even see it, or if not, assume it's someone else.
Yeah, Buster Pratt lives in a world where he knew he was going on a boat, so he bought a peacoat to wear. He wanted to dress up like a sailor because that's how you get votes. That's the mentality of Buster Pratt.
And as you sort of head up the top of this gangplank, you are in fact greeted by the captain, as he's heard the mayor is there. He sort of looks you up and down, realizing you're almost wearing exactly the same peacoat. And he's like,
Captain, permission to come aboard. Buster Pratt, Deputy Mayor of Pasadena.
Yes, I know. And he holds out a hand. He's like, I am Captain Francis Green. It is a delight to have you on board, sir. An honor.
Captain Frank, the honor's mine.
Yes.
And there's a flash as he shakes his hand with like the deputy mayor and the captain.
Yeah, the captain sort of flinches, but I'm assuming maybe Buster's just so ready for the camera.
You can't get a shot off without the thumb coming up. So even if you're shaking hands, it's so.
Is it? Please, this way. We are serving drinks down in the dining hall. We'll get someone to sort your bags for your room. Please, follow me this way.
Absolutely.
And you can, the rest of you can either be leaving your room or on your way to the dining hall. Jack, you can feel that the flow is starting to end and less people coming on board, and it's more that you hear people cheering and waving goodbye, and you can hear the yells from the dock as the Queen Mary finally disembarks. And there is this sense all around you, as it is quite busy, of just excitement. And this is an event of a lifetime. And you can see both Billy and Marjorie. You can also see the captain walking forward. Here's the deputy mayor by his side as they're heading down to the dining hall. And there's lots of people queuing outside the dining hall rather than actually in there at first. There are 3 or 4 waiters there with huge silver sort of trays, very ornately decorated, full of champagne flutes, and they are being handed out. And the captain sort of looks to all of you as like, one moment, I'm just going to find out why the hall's not open. Please give me a moment. And he sort of disappears into the crowd and heads towards the door. And you're all sort of waiting, effectively. you know this isn't normal. Normally it's a file straight into this sort of thing, and you're almost having these champagne flutes thrust into your hand as a distraction, maybe, or just to keep you going.
I'm gonna get a shot of the line of like people waiting, as it's maybe a little scandalous as we're already having some problems. So he's gonna get a shot of them just passing out champagne, but really he's getting a shot of the line of people waiting.
I'm sort of looking at all of the people, just kind of sizing everyone up, trying to figure out what's going on and who's here, if there's anyone of importance, if there's anyone who might be a good business contact in the future.
You sort of look around, and it's more. There are some well-known people here, but they're not sort of really, really large names. You do see the mayor, but a lot of it is mainly people that seem to have, they could afford a ticket to come on here. You can see a lot of people finely dressed. That little old lady from earlier is there sort of playing with these pearls, sort of giggling away as she drinks her second champagne flute, sort of getting a bit sort of rosy cheeked as she does, sort of talking to the waiters, and she seems to be following one of them around. But otherwise there's a lot of luxury here, but it seems to be more money rather than fame.
Well, some of those people might have antiquities that I might be interested in. I do collect things from all over the world. Curiosities, uncovered artifacts, that sort of thing. It's a fascination I've had since I was a child.
I'm going to look around and see if there's anybody else who stands out. Like, we know the deputy mayor's here, but is there anybody of like importance or fame or anything that really stands out as I kind of just look through this crowd?
You not fame as in like movie stars. There's nothing like that. You can see some people who are definitely high up in society. You can see the daughter of a local banker who is doing exceedingly well, and you're pretty sure she's here in face of her father to make a bit of a statement. They know the press is coming, and they want to show their level, effectively, being on this ship.
Okay. I'll keep a note of her and kind of keep an eye on her once the doors open. I want to move to try to get a shot of her inside the dining hall instead of just out in the hallway.
You can take a few shots of her. She gives you a slight glance, but you get the feeling she's used to having photos taken of her, and she just lets you take these shots.
Yeah, they'll take a couple.
She gives you that
shots.
sort of sickly sweet smile every now and then as you sort of snap away. Mm-hmm. And Billy, would you say you stand out?
Yeah, I might make a little bit of a fuss. I mean, no, I don't want any of your bubbles, Stinky. There's only one amount of green there should be in any drink, and that's one. Any less or more than that, and I'm just not interested. Unless it's the Caledonian IPAs. They're actually quite nice. You should try them. I'm gonna light up. What are we gonna eat?
There's a moment where you can see someone else that goes, yeah, when are we? And he sort of almost mimics you, taking out a cigarette and going to you for a light.
Hey, pal, that's my line.
Calm down, everybody. The best things come to those who wait. And as Jack goes by, he'll give him another, and as soon as he goes by and he knows the flash has gone off, he checks his watch. Irritated, but can't tell the masses that.
Sorry, go on.
Can we see any reason that the doors aren't open? Are there any staff around?
I will say you can see the waiters that are holding the drinks, but you can see a staff member and the captain talking. And it lingers for quite a while. This is almost like an uncomfortable level of waiting now.
Can I edge up close to them so I can hear what's going on?
Yeah,
I would also like to do that.
Could you both roll me a listen check?
I can.
can as well.
Nice.
Traditional Scottish fashion, I'll just be starting a sing-song at the back of the line. Oh, why are we waiting?
Oh yeah, not so good.
Oh, that's a failure.
You both get pretty close, but the problem is, as you're both trying to move into it, you sort of bump into each other, and which in turn knocks one of the waiters, and you can hear that crash of flutes as they sort of pile off of the tray and just smashed on the floor, sort of parting the crowd. And
oh my!
The captain immediately turns, and I will say you can see it's not worry on his face; it's more annoyance. The plans have been upset; they're not running smoothly, and he's like, "Okay, ladies and gentlemen, my just huge apologies. There seems to be a problem with the dining hall. We are currently looking into it right now. However, everyone will receive complimentary room service, and as soon as the full meal is ready, the dining hall is completely clear, then we will send for you all personally." And Buster, he comes over and puts a hand on your shoulder. He's like, "I am incredibly embarrassed, and I'm sorry for this."
Oh, think nothing of it. Think nothing of it. It's better to be perfect than put a bad foot forward.
No, absolutely. We will send someone round as soon as possible. Absolutely.
Is there an order to how everyone is going to get room service?
Everyone will. I will send. And he sort of gestures to the staff. Is like, I will send everyone round as soon as. And he looks a little bit flustered. Is like, as soon as everyone is settled.
Is there anything I can help you with, Captain?
No, I believe not. If I do think of something, then I'll be sure to let you know.
Very well, very well.
Excuse me, I couldn't help but overhear. Correct me if I'm wrong, but when you go and do the old room checks and all that, you're going to stop by the bar first, aren't you, and let everyone in the bar know? We might get in quicker if we stayed in the bar, right, pal? I can't do a more obvious wink. I mean,
the captain looks more confused by you than anything. But his, yes, of course. However, and he sort of, and I will say, Marjorie and Jack, you can hear this as where you stumbled. It's now sort of gone into it. I do have a private bar, if you both wish to wait in there. He looks to you, Billy, more out of it might keep him quiet rather than kick up a fuss elsewhere, because you have been singing it back.
I was doing that.
And I can send for you after that. If not, bring dinner there.
Sounds swell. Buster would look at Billy. Do you have an extra one of those? And points to your cigarette.
Yeah.
Thank you.
This way, please. And as I said, Marjorie and Jack, you will have heard this. And you can see it is the mayor and some Scottish guy that seems to have somehow wangled his way in here.
I'm pretty sure that's the taxi driver who drove me over here.
Oh, that's that guy with the funny accent.
What's he doing in the captain's private study?
I don't know. I'm kind of wondering what's going on in that room and why we can't get in.
Yes, or is it the kitchen?
Probably a
Anyways. Yes.
Do you think we should follow them, or do you think we should go try and talk to the staff, find out what's happening?
That's up to you, man. You can do whatever you like.
Do I have any sort of insight onto which might be... Marjorie's really, really, really smart. She has a maxed out intelligence. So what does she have any sense of where the best place to sort of look into this might be?
I would say you can definitely see it's coming from the dining room. It seems to be something specific with the dining room that is the problem. However, the waiters are ushering people away. You can see that little old lady being shuffled off to the side. She's lit up a cigar as she's going. You're not too sure where she got it from.
I appreciate that. I'd like to get to know this woman. Ma'am, are you all right? Do you need any help getting to your room?
And she sort of looks at you, like big wide eyes, like those crow's feet, is like beaming. It's like, oh, no, you can come with me if you want. Gentleman over there just gave me a cigar.
Oh, well, that's quite charming.
Yeah. And who are you?
Oh, my name is Marjorie. How about you?
Margot Patterson.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Margot.
Thank you. And you. I hear there's something wrong with the dining hall, and we all have to go up to our room, but it's all rather exciting, isn't it?
It is indeed. So, tell me, are you going home? Are you going on a trip for fun? Visiting family?
Oh, this is for fun. I'm old, darling. Like, we don't get to do a lot of things like this anymore. So, I thought I'd splash out and have some fun.
Oh, how lovely. How lovely. Are you enjoying yourself?
Oh, I am. My husband died, you see, and left me a lot of money.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, no, it's fine. I couldn't have come here if he didn't.
Well.
And she just smiles up at you.
Well, it was lovely meeting you, Margot.
And you,
we'll speak later.
Marjorie.
That's correct, yes.
I had a neighbor called Marjorie. And she sort of shuffles away. And she does look like she's having the time of her life. You can see she's fairly rosy-cheeked because of the champagne. You can see that one of the staff member holds their arm out. You can see her sort of chuckle, sort of chortle a little bit as she puts her arm and is guided up this very elaborate staircase, which sort of seems to go up onto the next level where some of the cabins are, but the captain does look to all of you. He sort of sees you very close to him, Jack, where you've sort of been listening in. Is like, you're with the press, right?
That I am, Captain.
Okay. And he looks around at sort of the problems going. Like, why don't you come to my private bar?
I was actually going to retire to my room for the evening, since it seems like the festivities of the night have dwindled down, and that's all right. No worries there. Not really any good shots to get in the hallways, so I think I'm going to just settle down for the night and kind of see where tomorrow takes us.
No problem at all. And is that your lady friend over there? I saw you. Sorry, I'm assuming. As he sort of points over to Marjorie, who is having this conversation with this little old lady as she's moving away.
No, I'm afraid I did not get the man's name there. I'm not sure what her name is, but she's quite lovely and quite nice, and well, she's kind of the berries, and I'm not sure, but not my lady.
Right. Okay. Well, you rest well. Food will be sent up very, very soon. Have a good evening. And
You too, Captain.
Yes. And he sort of gives you a nod, and holds the edge of his hat, and he looks over at you, Marjorie, and is like, are you quite all right heading back to your room, or would you two like a drink?
Well, I think I'm fine for the evening. Thank you so much, Captain. I think I'll go back and enjoy the room service.
Absolutely. And you can see that the group starts to disperse.
Mm-hmm.
Could you, anyone who would be observant, like anyone who would be looking around, could you roll me a spot hidden check?
That would definitely be me. And there's other. I want to definitely not go to my room too. So.
Yeah, that was my plan as well.
Spot hidden is very good because I'm a photographer.
Seriously? Wow, this is... Yikes.
Success.
Okay. Marjorie, you sort of look around, but there's just so many people going backwards and forwards. You can see people filing into their rooms.
Such a hubbub.
Some of them seem to be arguing a little bit with some of the staff. This is preposterous. That sort of rabble as they go. And Jack, you're wandering around, and you're sort of got your photographer's eye, and you can see sort of an uncomfortable feeling amongst some of the staff, but as soon as a customer approaches, that smile, commercial smile, comes straight back on their face.
Got it.
And one of them does, in fact, open the door for you as you head towards your room. It's like, have a nice evening, sir. Food will be up shortly.
Excellent, thank you. And I would like to not go to my room, and I would like to find a way into that dining room.
Of course. Billy and Buster, the captain sort of guides you towards the bar. And you are taken into, if anything, it looks like a sitting room. You can see some very sort of leather Chesterfield like sofas. You can see a box of cigars on a coffee table at the center, and a very, very small bar. It looks like very like a personal bar. And a man stands behind it, sort of washing and cleaning out some of the glasses. And he opens this door, and you can smell what's that? It smells like wood polish. It's everything has just been cleaned. You can see the lamps have all been switched on as it's starting to get a little bit dark outside. And the captain looks to both of you. He's like, please, anything you want. I am going to go and see if I can resolve this problem. So please enjoy.
Yeah.
Buster would saddle up to the bar, and he would trade his cigarette, snuff the butt out, and trade it for a cigar as he gets to the bar. But he would ask the bartender, so, what's wrong with the kitchen?
And as the captain sort of sees you start to talk already, almost like forgetting him as he goes to the bar, and he sort of smiles and closes the door. He's like, I'm afraid I don't know, sir. I mainly just serve the drinks in here, but I'm sure the captain is very, very good. We'll get it all sorted pretty quick.
Oh, I'm sure. I was just wondering what the scuttlebutt was.
I don't know. So what can I get you? We got some real fine whiskies here. We've got the standard or something else.
Step up next to Buster. I'll get these. Put them on me and put these on my room. You want to try the KO Isla, pal? That's a great one.
Sure.
It's a Highland whiskey. Puts hair on your chest.
Okay. You can tell he has no idea anything that you're talking about. Okay, Highland, yes, that's the best, right?
Yeah, some say Speyside, some say Islay. Personally, I like them all.
I am here for this whiskey chat. Like, I want in on this.
And there's a moment where this man turns his back on you, and he's like pointing to which one before finally pulling the bottle down. You see him go up on his tiptoes and pull it down, and take out two crystal glasses, and you can hear that gluk, 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 as it sort of just slightly fills up a very small. Well, it's a generous amount, really, and it's got that very smoky, strong, almost earthy smell to it as you hold it up to your nose. And he sort of gives you a smile, and for a moment looks at you both far too long to see if you like it, and then goes back to cleaning glasses.
So you seem like some sort of important chap. People are giving you some airs and graces, I'm seeing.
Where are my manners? Buster Pratt, Deputy Mayor of Pasadena.
Billy
Sticks his hand
McGregor,
out.
New York taxi driver. I'd shake your hand.
Nice to meet you, William.
No, it's Billy.
Billy.
Aye, there you go.
Okay.
You know,
So-
William's my dad's name.
Billy, and he would lean in but not change the volume of his voice. This is the maiden or this is a brand new voyage. We're the first ones in this bar. Why do you think he's still cleaning glasses?
Do you know, I've always wondered that. Have you noticed that no matter where you go in the world, there's always a guy cleaning glasses? I think they're just bored.
I don't know. It's off-putting. It's always bothered me. They're not
Hey,
dirty, but why do they clean them?
Bit of a hygienist, are you?
Well, Howard Hughes and I are like this.
All right. No idea what you're talking about. All right, yeah, yeah. You just got an advantage from Katsuki Hokai.
You sort of stand awkwardly at this bar. You sort of look around a bit as the conversation goes dead. And even the bartender looks a little bit awkward. You can hear him turn his back and let out like a heavy sigh. And you're in here for quite a while. It seems to linger and the captain doesn't come back. And the barman sort of pauses where it's like, if you could just give me a moment, I will go and see where the food's got to. And he sort of almost drops the rag on the floor and hurries out the door, closing it firmly behind him.
Strange.
What, is that just us in here now?
We're supposed to serve ourselves? I
won't say no. I'm just going to walk behind the bar.
You can walk behind the bar.
And Buster falls into this new paradigm easily. Great, great. Pour me one too, friend.
Aye. Tell you what, we won't go for them big generous ones though. Personally, I like to try a lot of different flavors. This one's an oily. It's like a Voulin.
Has a lot of peat in it.
Lots of peat. Hey, hang on a minute.
Pete, I know him.
Hang on a second. We're in the captain's private. Look at this. There's a director's edition back here. Director's edition. Let's have a crack on that, shall we?
I saw the director's edition of King Kong.
Aye, yeah, King Kong. Tell me, what are your hobbies?
Being the second most powerful person in the city of Pasadena, California.
All right, okay. Pasadena,
it's
a big state, is it?
It's a city. It's a city in California.
All right.
We come away from the most awkward conversation in the world to Jack and Marjorie, and you're both in your rooms at the moment.
So as we left, I think both Jack and I were not gonna go home. We were.
Oh, okay. So you're both going to the dining hall.
Well, so what I'll do is I'll actually go to my room just to show face and be like, yeah, look at me, I'm going to my room, and I'm gonna drop off my press camera, so because it's a little large and bulky. But I'll still have my pocket camera that flips open and a little, telescopic lens comes out, and then it closes. And so I make sure I have that. I make sure my film is wound and good. And then once I'm like, all right, that's been enough time. And then I'm gonna kind of sneak out of my room and start heading into and trying to make my way down to try to get into this dining hall to find out what's going on and get some pictures of it.
You both sort of meet each other halfway. You sort of spot each other, recognizing from the earlier collide, and you can see people are leaving the dining hall. Even a lot of the staff seem to be leaving. So the door is there. You can see staff walking up and down, but they don't seem to be particularly looking in your direction. But if you do want to get in there, we'll need you both to roll a stealth.
Absolutely. And as we approach but not quite up, and I spot Marjorie, I'm just like, oh, ma'am, see you again. Allow me to apologize for the manners of lack thereof. Jack Ming is my name. I don't believe I ever got yours.
Marjorie Agnes Gilkey. Lovely to meet you.
Pleasure, ma'am. I got the sense that you don't quite, you're looking for a story as well.
It would seem that way. It seems there's a story to be told here.
There's always a story to be told.
Well, isn't that just aces?
And I'm gonna...
Is it possible for me to talk my way into the dining hall?
There's no one there. There's no one guarding the door or anything. It's literally, the door is there and people, a lot of the staff seem to be trying to maneuver people away from the dining hall. And at this point, there's no one really in front of the doors.
I got a success on my stealth.
This is not going to go well for me. I can tell you now. Yeah.
Oh, critical failure. Okay.
Yeah.
Can
I? Yeah, it's not worth pushing. I'm not gonna get.
Someone sort of stops you. Says, "Ma'am, sorry. We're not serving dinner quite yet. We'll let you know as soon as the dining hall is open." And Jack, you take this opportunity for this staff member to have their back turned to sort of open the door. And Marjorie, you can see him as he sort of slides into the dining hall.
You see, this is my area of expertise. The captain sent me personally. And I want to try and fast talk this if I can.
How are you fast talking this person? What are you saying?
I start spouting off very complex phrases relating to the nuances of antiquities and talking about the design of the dining hall and how I'm a specialist in all of the architecture and the this and the that and the antique this and all of the specialties, and I'm using the most complex terminology I can use just to bamboozle this person.
Okay, roll me a fast talk, please.
Okay. Seriously?
Oh gosh.
Oh my god.
This staff member looks at you and goes, I'm very sorry, the issue has nothing to do with the antiques in the actual wall. So if you won't mind, and he sort of holds an arm out, he's like, I can escort you back to your room.
All right then.
And he's this very awkwardly, fairly shy individual, sort of leads you up the stairs.
Okay.
Jack, you slide into this dining hall, and it's completely empty. You can see there's a dance floor at the center by the long bar, and the tables are completely set up for dinner.
Okay. I am going to start looking around trying to find what the problem was, because from first glance, everything looks kosher.
Roll me a spot hidden check, please.
I will, gladly. Hard success.
Okay. You're walking around this room. You sort of weave in between the tables. You can see like name places, huge sort of table decorations. There's got these awnings that, going from the ceiling. You can see where a band was set to be playing. This looks like a party. This looks amazing. This is going to be the opening night on the Queen Mary. And you sort of step onto the dance floor. And as you do, you almost slip.
Ooh. I'm going to look down and see what I slipped on.
You see this sort of smear of blood that seems to go from just the corner of the table leg out onto the dance floor.
I'm going to pull out my pocket camera, and I'm going to get a shot of the blood on the floor. And then I'm going to follow and see if I can figure out where it's coming from.
Could you make a listen check, please?
I will make a listen check.
And thank you, Big Pig, who donates another donation to the
wonderful
Greg.
Yay!
That's awesome. Yeah, people, please keep donating. Even though we've met the goal, like, this is an amazing cause. And
it's a failure.
Keep going. Okay.
You look around, and this smear seems to be just here. It doesn't seem to be going anywhere. This looks like something happened here, and it looks like something has been dragged as if it's been moved. And you don't hear what else is in the room with you. So,
joy.
We will hop back over to Billy and the mayor. And you've been in here a long while now. And it's getting a bit uncomfortable, more than uncomfortable. As much as a Scottish man loves an awkward silence, it is getting too uncomfortable when you're sort of stood there over that other empty whiskey glass. You hear at the door.
As if he owns the place. Come!
No one comes.
It usually works. Looks at Billy. Goes over and opens it.
Yeah, Billy looks back at you.
You open the door, and you're in the corridor. It's completely empty and devoid of all sound. If anything, all you can hear is that rain slowly pattering on the outside of the porthole as it swings.
Is there?
No one.
They're flying
looking
low.
for us.
There's a moment of silence until you hear a door open. And much adjacent to the one you're opening, as the captain opens it, walks out, turns his back to you and starts to walk along the corridor.
Captain! Captain! Did you down the door?
He doesn't seem to acknowledge you.
Hey,
And
Frank!
he keeps walking down to the end of the corridor, all the way down to the other end, and there are doors all the way along this corridor. And he opens the door at the other end and disappears through it.
Bus turned back to Billy. The captain didn't hear me.
Aye, did that strike you as odd at all?
Strange. I project. I took a class.
Oh, your
Door
voice
next to
right,
you
yeah.
opens. The captain walks out. He turns his back to you and starts walking down the corridor.
Didn't that just happen?
What does this Pete do? As he looks back at the glass. Is it some type of drug or something?
What?
What?
No, it's just like a woody texture. It's no. It can't do that.
Door opens. The captain walks out. His back to you and walks down the corridor.
Frank! Hey, Frankie!
Hey, let's go grab him. Let's do something. Let's break this sequence of events here.
I will say you can see two of them. As the other one starts heading towards the end of the corridor, opening the door and closing it. And almost as that one closes, the one next to you opens. The captain walks out, starts to walk down the corridor.
Yeah, go get him, Billy!
I'm just gonna go stand and just like grab his shoulders and be like, hey! Hey!
What, like from behind and you're shaking
And I'm
him?
gonna go and stand in front of him.
You go and stand in front of this captain and you slam your like hands down his shoulder and shake him. And this man has no face. It's just completely flat. I need you to make a sanity check for me, please.
Me too, or have I not seen this yet?
You haven't seen it if you haven't gone up and grabbed him.
Oh no, yeah. Buster is not engaging. What's going on?
I've seen worse.
Just lose one sanity, please, as you stare at what you think is the captain. But you blink a couple of times and the face is completely smooth. You can see where the cheekbones are and the jaw is, almost where slight dips where the eyes would be. But there's no nose and there's no lips. And Buster, you're looking at Billy, who is holding on to this captain and is frozen. And as he does so, the door opens. So the captain walks through and turns his back to you and walks along the corridor.
I'm really sorry about this. It's going to be a little gross, but I can't help myself. I'm going to poke my finger where its nose hole should be.
Gross.
And then where its eye should be, and just see if there's any reaction.
And Buster's seeing this from behind the captain's head,
Yeah,
right?
you're seeing this from behind.
What the hell are you doing, Billy?
I've got no face!
What?
I like quickly turn him around, then turn him back.
You can't turn him around.
It's
almost solid like a statue. He doesn't even wiggle as you try and move him.
Come over here, will ya?
Buster's not going to do that, but Buster's going to look in the room that the captain's coming out of. The
You
captain's, plural.
You sort of leave the bar room and you look around the corner, and down that corridor you can see the back of Billy shaking this captain.
Can I see myself looking into a room?
You can't see yourself looking into a room because he is in the way of the corridor. You can roll a spot hidden check if you want to see if you can move around and look.
Jesus.
You don't see anything. If anything, you suddenly feel fixated on Billy. As you're hearing double now. As you hear both of them. And in a split second, you see a hand come around the side of the door and close it for you. And...
William, what's going on?
the lights go out.
What does the face feel like? I need to know. Is it fleshy or woody or...
It feels very, almost spongy, more than anything else. Not really fleshy, but when you sort of touch, you can feel your fingertips sink.
Oh no, I
And
take
as
them back
you
out
do
again.
it-
No, I don't like that.
The lights start to flicker, and they go out just behind you. And Buster, you're looking at Billy, and you're seeing the lights going out along the corridor.
No. No. Is this like pitch blackness?
It is literally sectioning it off into complete darkness.
Okay, didn't you say that in the bar area, the captain's bar area, there were lamps lit or candles or something lit, correct?
Yeah, they've got the wall lamps, the ones that are fixed to the wall.
Are they, and they're not flame, are they gas or are they electric?
No, they're electric.
Oh, his lighter. He pulls his lighter out then at the last second, and does it flick on to create light, or
You sort of I need you to actually roll a sleight of hand to get it on before the light goes out.
Oh no. Damn you, Buster. I drop it.
You sort of like fumble with your and it sort of clatters to the floor, and there's that moment where you look at Billy as he disappears into that line of darkness, and then it comes closer and closer and throws you into pitch black. And Billy, everything has gone dark around you, and I'm assuming you let
Can
go
you
of
push
the
the
captain.
roll?
I can't push it with a 10. I have to roll.
Oh yeah, it's true. Never mind. Scratch that.
Yeah, I'd try, but
I mean, yeah. Oof.
Billy,
I don't
you
want to
let
die
go,
by
right?
lighter.
True. Die by later.
Billy, you
It
let go.
snaps onto your. Yeah. I don't know.
I was gonna say human torch.
I'm just
Billy-
seeing like Attack of the Mimic Zippo.
It bites me.
Did you let go of the captain, Billy?
When the lights are going out, I probably did actually. Brad, thank you for that $20 via Tiltify there.
Yay! Thank you so much, Brad.
And as you let go of the captain, you sort of jump back, and that's when the light goes out. And you can hear footsteps coming up behind you. And there's a moment where you can feel breath on the back of your neck, almost by your ear, as if someone was leaning in to talk to you. And you can hear from the back.
Nope.
Is this both of us or Billy?
This is just Billy.
Okay, then Buster doesn't scream.
Nope. I let go of the dummy and I run. It's dark. I didn't care which way. I just run.
Okay, roll me a navigation, please, to
To
get through the dark.
Actually, as it so happens, I'm a taxi driver. I've got pigeon's instinct. I say confidently.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
nice.
sprint down this corridor, almost like hands along the side as you're feeling as you go. And Buster, you can hear footsteps running towards you.
William, Billy, Billy.
Hey, Billy, hey, it's me, hey.
And you almost collide with Buster, Billy, but not quite. You sort of stop just before that moment, but you're very aware that there is someone in front of you, and you can hear Buster.
Turn your heed, you prat, run!
Huh? Are you stopped or are you continuing to run?
I'm gonna continue running. Run!
He's gonna drop down and try to get his lighter.
Okay, make me.
Oh, yeah.
I'll say either navigation or sleight of hand check,
Oh my god.
or spot hidden.
I'll do that.
Jumping on this
I'm doing.
one.
I have. Do I have an advantage? I have an advantage, right?
You have 2, yeah.
Yeah.
I am using one now because I don't trust this at all. Okay, but I'll do it again to see if I get a better one. Look at that. Okay, so he drops down and grabs it, and I assume finds it.
You scrabble around on the floor, and it's sort of, you push it a little bit, and then your hands go over it, and your fingertips also touch the pair of boots that are stood just behind you.
He lights it.
You pull it up, and there's a brief moment where you cast this flame across the face in front of you. And you don't have to go very high, as the little girl stands there wide-eyed and blows out your lighter.
Nope.
Back
Nope.
with Marjorie. You
Thank you very much, Robo Goblin, who's going to give an advantage to the next listen check, wherever it may be.
Oh, nice. Thanks, Robo Goblin.
Marjorie, you were being guided up the stairs, and you can see that this staff member in their smart uniform is picking up the pace faster and faster. And could you make a spot hidden check for me, please?
Yes.
Okay.
So close.
Only
I'm
3 luck, you
gonna-
know.
Push that for funsies. There we go. Yes.
You are walking up the stairs behind them. They seem to have picked up the pace. And as you do, this is a male staff member in front of you. You can just see the back of his head, cap on. And you notice as he's walking faster and faster, his hands are not right. Like they don't belong on the right body. And you can see them peeking out, almost these cuffs, these sort of with these gold embroidery around them. These almost grayish, very long, gnarled fingers. So very long, pointed, bright red nails as he walks up the stairs and around the corner.
I'm gonna go ahead and hang back as he's walking, since his back is to me. He doesn't seem to be paying attention, because Something's not kosher here. I'm gonna go ahead and turn back around. This is all wet. I'm gonna go back to the toward the dining room.
Okay. You start to walk down the stairs. And at that point, you can hear that fizz and that crackle as the lights go out.
Well, something's wrong here. I take a lighter out of my pocket and I flick it.
And you're stood almost at the top of the stairs, not quite. Whoever this was is gone. They've gone up along the other end of the corridor. And you light this up as you're stood on this ornately sort of carved oak staircase on the way down. And Jack.
I'm heading down toward where Jack was.
You start heading down the staircase. Jack in the dining hall.
So as I'm like looking at this this blood, I'm just kind of like, all right. Don't take any wooden nickels, Jack. It's all gonna be all right. All right. Everything's Jake. And then he's kind of like muttering to himself as he's looking at this blood, trying to figure out what's going on, and then that's what he's saying.
Could you make a listen check for me, please? And with advantage.
Ooh, yes. First one and second one. They're both failures. Because that's how it's gonna be.
You only hear one thing as you sort of look around and you can see, almost as if it follows a line around the corridor, you can see that there is what looks like an elevator at the other end of the room.
Okay.
All the lights start dropping, throwing you slower and slower into darkness. And as it sort of drops and everything goes dark, you can hear as something moves across the dance floor.
Nope.
Right. It's probably just the ocean playing tricks. Yeah. And I'm gonna like shakingly reaching to see if I have a lighter or even or anything on me. And I don't have a lighter, but I have like a small pack of matches. And so I like flip it and like strike a match because that's all I've got on me. And I like let it, and I'm like gonna use it as a light. As I feel around my pocket and I find my flash bulb for my portable camera, and I start to put that on. So that way, if I need to take any pictures, there will be a flash to it.
Okay. I think that's where we'll take our break, actually. Take the time. We'll take our break.
Sure thing. Well, everyone, do as we do. Stretch, grab a bio, grab a drink, do all the things that make you human. And we will see you back here in 5 minutes. Catch you very soon. Bye. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you had a fantastic break. We certainly did. Thank you very much for all of your support today. We've beaten our goal, but we're still taking donations. We've got hours to go. Yeah, and hey, 4K looks very shiny. Let's go for it. Let's do the thing. Alice, we'll hand back over to you.
Okay. Jack, you stand in this dark room and you can hear that scuttling from somewhere. And at first you can hear it on the dance floor in front of you. Not right in front of you, further along. And then you hear that rattle of cutlery as something knocks into a table behind you.
I'm gonna turn around and kind of point my camera and take a picture right where I heard that noise.
Okay. The camera goes off and you hear that boom as it sort of like starts to power up again.
I'm gonna that quick flash. I'm gonna like kind of see if I see anything from where it goes from utter darkness to that bright light. I'm sure my eyes are gonna be like, but I imagine I'm kind of used to it being a photographer, so I'm gonna just see if I can see anything as I'm trying not to panic, scream, and run.
Roll a spot hidden check for me, please.
I will most certainly try. Roll 20 is not being friendly today. Nope.
Almost as you set that flash off, it's almost as you set that flash off, you can hear that scuttling from somewhere else, and that as the flash loads up again. And then there's a moment where you can hear little shoes run across this dining hall.
Hello? Anybody there?
Then there's a flash and a flash as your camera starts going off on its own.
I'm looking down and fiddling with it, trying to figure out what's going on.
Every time you're sort of fiddling with it, that flash goes off, almost half blinding you. And those feet get closer. And then there's that flash again, and another flash. And you sort of look down, and as you do, that last flash goes off. And you look up, and there is a face in that split second, maybe 2 inches from yours. And you hear that. And that little red light flashes as the flash battery dies, and you can hear the as you can feel the breath on your face.
Yeah, I fall backwards and start crawling backwards.
You almost clatter into one of the tables. You can hear the glass smash. You can hear the cutlery go, and outside this room, Marjorie, you can hear whatever this collateral is. And could you make a spot hidden check for me, please? You're sort of stood lowered down on the staircase, and you've got the big hall, the dining hall doors in front of you, and a corridor with some elevators along the side.
I'm going to push that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
There we go.
You sort of hear all of this, and you've got your little flame sort of going out, and there's this moment where there's another light that enters probably your vision, and it's the light of the elevator button coming on just for a moment, and you can see the numbers go up, and you hear that rumble, that as the doors open.
What do I see? Actually, no, I want to get into where I heard the crash because I knew Jack was going in there. So I know there's a person in there.
You start walking down the steps and you've got this lighter going. As you do, you can hear footsteps coming from the elevator, and you see a pair of very shiny brogues step over the threshold. And for a moment, you sort of have to stop and hold the light up to see, as this light sort of dances over the polished surface. And almost having to bend fully in half to duck and come out of this elevator this huge silhouette of a figure, over 8 foot tall, steps out.
Ooh, I'm gonna rush to get to the dining hall. That's got to be safer than what this is.
You run towards the dining hall. Can you make a sleight of hand check, please? Because something's locked it. You can hear those rogues.
Oh, sweet.
As you hear them coming, almost if they're about to round the corner, you fumble with the door, it shakes. And Jack, you can hear the door handle go as it quickly opens and you slam it shut and the glass rattles. It is dark in here. It is completely pitch black.
Are there any lamps nearby that I could light?
That none of they're all wall lamps. You know, there's a light switch probably around here somewhere.
Okay, I'm gonna feel for it. Look for it.
Yeah. Can you make me a sleight of hand check, please?
Sure. Nope.
You're sort of fumbling along the walls as you're reaching across, and at that point, you actually almost trip over Jack.
So at this moment, as I crashed into the thing and I heard some champagne flutes, I'm actually reaching for a champagne flute, and I want to grab one to where, like, you have the round circle bit here, and then the jagged broken part there. As she trips onto me in a panic, I just stab. It's because I don't know what this is or who, and as something just is right, and I'm just like, ah!
I will say this will need a dodge, right? So Marjorie roll a dodge, and Jack roll a sleight of hand, just to see if it does.
Yeah. I'm very good at sleight of hand, and not.
Yeah, no, that's not very good.
It's all right. Let's see. Failure.
Yeah, it's more that you, Marjorie, you almost trip over Jack, and you can hear that sort of, as he sort of swipes, and you hear the glass crack again as Jack, you sort of go out to jab, and you hit the side of the wall where she's feeling along to try and get the lamp, and you can feel that glass break in your hand. It stings. Yeah. It doesn't seem that you've, like, you're not bleeding or anything, but you can feel the shards.
I don't know what you
Jack.
are, but
Jack, it's Marjorie.
Oh, right. Yes.
What's going on here? There's a thing outside, a creature. It's tall.
And he kind of like
very tall. Like
we let's just calm down. We're gonna be all right. It's just the sea playing tricks on our eyes. Our power's just out. That has to be it. There's. Thought there was someone in with me, and obviously I've never been on sea before. This is what seasickness is, right? That's what it is. That has to be what it is. There's
no.
As you both sit there and you chatter, the lights start to come back on. Only a few, but they're flickering. They're continuously flickering, but you can see the dining hall now. And at the dining hall door, you hear a, and it just keeps going. And then there's a moment, and there's a bang as this huge hand slams against the glass, sending the whole door rattling.
Like Jack will just scream, like.
There's something going on. What's going on?
What is that? He'll like, even though the flash is gone since the lights are on, he'll actually hold his camera up and he'll start taking pictures.
And I will say, this is almost like a fogged up glass, so you can see there's something the other side. You can get the definite distinction of what looks like a torso. But where the top of the door, where the window finishes, it finishes at this thing's chest.
Something's going on. I found blood. Let's see if there's another way out.
Yes, let's. We need to scram.
Start looking.
This is.
The door handle starts to rattle.
I'm gonna start looking.
Is there any way to bar the door?
There's chairs and tables.
Yeah, let's barricade it.
Okay, as soon as she starts, I'm like, it's a good idea. Yeah.
Quick, let's grab these.
And I will just start like shoving tables and chairs or doing whatever I can to move. Like I go to push a table, move, so I just grab a chair and push it in. Not a strong
You start
person.
to jam the door. And as you do, you can see it start to shake. The door handle moves and shakes. And there's a Bing behind you. Not Jack Bing, a Bing from an elevator on the other side of the room as the doors start to open. And back with Buster and Billy, you have just been thrown into darkness as this flame from your lighter has gone out. And there's a moment where you can feel a breeze. And you feel steps beneath your feet. You don't feel the corridor. You don't feel that almost like that warmth. But you can smell sort of like the damp and the dank stone. And what smells like fresh paint.
As soon as Buster has the ability to move after his lighter was blown out, he is going to crawl at best possible speed, I guess down the steps, if that's what he's currently on, muttering the whole time, never having giggle juice again with Pete in it, never, never, as he just hands and knees going down.
What's Billy doing?
Well, I was kind of running, and when I hear him scrabbling around on the floor, I'm like, hey, what are you doing? Get up!
I'm running. Sort of.
Cool.
You sort of stumble down these steps. It's not like it's not a very smooth descent, but there is like this pause as you both sort of manage to reach each other. What you think is like, especially where you're feeling around Buster, you can feel almost like a flat corridor. It feels like stone, almost like concrete down the other end, sort of along the floor, and you can see a light flickering, almost as if it's just trying to turn on the ceiling. And there's this almost strange sound, as if someone is humming, not quite singing. And you hear footsteps that move not steadily, but as if in a pattern. And that light sort of flashes, and down the other end of the corridor is a man in a uniform. And he has his back to you, and he's sort of swaying backwards and forwards onto each of his feet, and he takes a step to the side, arms sort of up in the air as if he's moving, almost like a dance, as he's sort of turns, and he starts to almost waltz towards you, one hand there, one hand on his chest, as if he had an invisible dance partner, taking a step to the side, backwards and forwards. And in his right hand, he rolls a coin. And his eyes seem to be somewhat closed, as if he's listening to an invisible tune. You are no longer in the corridor. You can easily look around and you see a plaque on the wall as you are in the isolation ward, the medic ward. It's where most of the nurses will go and treat like people with common colds or anything like that. But this looks to be a waiter.
William, what do you see, huh?
Oh, wait. Yeah.
Hey,
Are we supposed to be on the ship? What the hell are we doing here?
hey, there.
As you call out, stops moving. Freezes for a moment. Slowly turns his head round. And you're looking at the face of the captain. He smiles. Rolls the coin between his fingers again. And sort of turns to look at you, still swaying slightly. Can you hear it? Can you hear the music?
What do we say?
No, do we appease him? Aye, yes! What a lovely jingle! I'll arrange my hat. Do you think he's playing it? I don't know.
But Buster's gonna try to start swaying in the same rhythm that the captain's swaying in. Just back and forth, and he'll even put his hand on his chest and just when in Rome.
Aye, I'll take the other. I'll happily let Buster lead as I dive into his waltz.
And there's a moment where the captain stops and he slowly tips his head to one side, observing. And he smiles. And that smile stretches just a little bit too high. And he chuckles. You can hear it. And he runs towards you, almost coming to a skidding halt just in front of you. And then he starts to mimic you, and it's almost like being face to face with a snake. As for a moment, you're not too sure who's mimicking who. Have you seen it? Have you seen it yet?
Or have we? Right, William?
Aye! Yeah.
We saw it.
Boy, am I
could
relieved.
hear- You wouldn't be here if you saw it. You're lying.
No, I'm Deputy Mayor of Pasadena. I don't lie.
And at that, he gets right up into your face, almost less than an inch from your nose, and does that sort of movement, almost very snake-like again. I don't believe you. And you hear that tingle almost as that coin rolls and hits the ring on his finger. And he laughs and takes a step back. It's okay. You'll see them soon. Very soon. And
Can't
that
wait.
face again, that smile stretches, and it stretches almost all the way up to his cheekbones. And he starts to waltz again. He doesn't back away fully, but he's almost lost in the motion as he's listening to the music that isn't there.
Buster's gonna try to move politely, keep the same distance, but with his hand kind of behind him, kind of shooing Billy in the same direction. Go see him. Can't wait. Again.
and the head sort of rolls from side to side. The lights flicker, and as they do, could you roll a spot hidden check for me, please?
Thank you very much. Stella, who donates an advantage to Jen.
Thank you so much, Stella.
As he weaves, almost, you can see the plaque on the wall. You can see a corridor that goes off into the ship's isolation ward. And at the other end of the corridor, as he moves, you see a light flicker as an elevator is at the other end of the hall. And the lights flash as if it's coming down. And he looks at you. 3 will come. And he runs forward and scurries past you. Almost for a moment, you see him, as he does run, he pushes himself off the side of the wall for stability before going on all fours and scuttering off.
What does he mean 3? What does he mean 3 will come, Billy?
I guess 3 people will come. Let's see, there's that new novel out, isn't there? It's only a few years old. What's it called? You know, the one by the chap, the English bloke. Wrote about Christmas. Carol, something like that. I don't know.
What?
I'm not well read. Only in the beard.
And the elevator's coming down to us?
Look,
The elevator is coming down to you.
if 3 are
What's in
coming, let's get going.
Yeah, yes. This is a lifeboat, maybe.
Can you both roll a sanity check for me, please?
I should just go ahead and fail this, but... Oh,
Apparently I'm feeling quite good.
Keeping each other together. You both stand there and you're looking at each other, and you look up to the stairs where this captain scurried off to. There's no exit. Looks like a freshly cemented wall has been put there, as if a day, if not hours before. And you can see what looks like maybe a handprint where it sort of tried to smooth it out. And the bing of the elevator as the doors open.
the only thing Buster would say is, who uses cement on a boat?
I think we're either on a bigger boat or we're not on a boat at all.
What?
Look at it.
What's in the opposite direction of the elevator?
There is the wall behind you, and you can see another corridor which you know goes into normally where they keep bunks and things like that if someone's seasick or something like that.
Is there a place to hide to see if anybody gets off the elevator?
You could definitely duck round the corner, like, and hide to have a look and then go further down, but you won't see them if you go all the way down.
Okay, so that's what Buster would do. He just wants a peek. He just, you know.
Okay, can you roll a spot hidden and a stealth, please? And Billy, if you're doing the same thing, please.
I might as well.
Spot hidden. Oh, for God's sakes.
I don't know if I want to pass that one. I'll use an advantage on the stealth, please.
I am using an advantage as well on the stealth.
Oh.
Oops,
I don't want
oops.
to push the roll, not on a 20.
The elevator opens. And Buster, you managed to get sort of right, but you press yourself up against that wall. You can feel the heart pounding in your chest as your breath starts to get a little bit ragged. And Billy, it's almost taking you a moment, and the reason you see this is because you don't move at all.
Hey.
As the doors open. You can hear the elevator music. It's empty.
get it. What you... Nothing there.
It's empty.
It's not
He
a
peeks
damn
around.
thing, just elevator music.
Come on. And while he says come on, he takes very small, shallow steps towards the elevator. Come on, let's go.
Yeah, let's go up the stairs a wee bit. Up the elevator shaft. We'll find something, I'm sure.
The car's there. The elevator car's there, correct?
It's all there.
Okay. Let's go up, find some light.
And you head into the elevator. And you stand in there, it's quite roomy. Because you've got that very sort of embossed, almost like wallpaper all around the side. And as the doors close, you can see the captain at the end of the corridor. And then holds up 3 fingers as the doors close.
Buster returns with 1.
Is it his thumb?
It is not.
And Marjorie and Jack, your elevator opens. And there is no person in there. But there is a small wooden box. And Marjorie, you've seen things like this before.
Yes, this is what I
It's-
specialize in.
This is almost like a very, it looks to be made out of yew.
Mhm.
And it's been decorated very ornately with lots of animals and like flora and fauna. And it looks very childlike.
Okay.
And there's almost like a very small metal crank at the side.
Okay.
And you
Can I recognize the origin of it?
roll me I've forgotten the name for it. Hang on.
Is it history?
Appraisal or
Appraisal?
history. Whichever you
Okay.
prefer.
My history is just a smidge better, not by much. Nope.
Okay. It's more that you are overwhelmed by whatever this is. As the elevator is opened and this box is there. And you both stare at it for a moment. When very slowly you hear a creak and that handle starts to move and play a tune.
Jack, are you seeing this, or am I a bit dotty here?
No, I'm seeing it. And Jack just kind of closes his eyes for a second and just takes like inhales and.
Should
Alright.
we move the box? Should we get it away from the elevator? Can we get in the elevator?
I don't. Boxes aren't my specialty. I don't know. What I think we can do is. It's moving on its own, isn't it? Oh yeah, it is. All right.
Could you both roll a spot hidden check for me, please? As this box starts to open.
Oh, nice. Oh,
Okay.
thanks.
Failure.
Jack, you're almost fixated on this thing as the box slowly starts to open.
Actually, I'm like bringing my camera up.
Oh, you see a small dancer at the center, sort of rotating around like a child's music box. And this is across the room from you. However, Marjorie, somewhere you hear the feet. And you
Who's there?
notice there is a second level balcony with more sort of tables and chairs, more like a viewing balcony above this. It's still very dark in here, but with each moment, as soon as the box fully opens, you hear these feet run.
Can I slam the box shut?
Could you roll a strength check, please? Well, you need to get over there first.
Okay.
I'm
I'll do that, I guess. I'll move over
Jack
there
is just
and then-
fixated. Like you'll hear the click of his camera as he takes a picture.
And Jack, you're
And-
quite far over the other side of the room as Marjorie's moving. You're just watching this music.
Yeah.
And Marjorie, you get over and you start pushing this box lid down. And there's this moment where you realize it's, if you could only guess, it's almost like something was resisting you from closing this. You can feel it. And you're closing this music box as hard as you can. And there's this pause that as you sort of move this closed, on the top balcony, you can see the staircase down and 2 bare feet stand. And they're almost a grayish blue color, not quite right. And with each sort of as you try and close it, it's like it enables it to take a step each time. And as the music turns, the music crank starts to get louder and louder.
It seems to be attracting it as I close it, or it seems to be attracting it as it was open?
As it stays open, as the music gets louder and louder.
Jack, come help me, please. Close this. We have to close it. There's look up there.
Jack kind of snaps out of it, and he and he rushes forward, kind of glances over to see if the hand and the body is still pressed up against the glass.
Very much so. As you can see this hand, and you can see that fog, as if someone was pressing their face against the window, breathing.
And he rushes over and kind of glances up, seeing the feet, and just trying to will himself forward. Will try to help Marjorie close or move the box or whatever Marjorie is doing.
And could you, as Marjorie, you're closing this box, and you can see those little footsteps coming down the stairs with each.
Hurry, Jack, hurry!
I'm trying. I'm gonna try to back at the feet and at the figure pressing against the window, just like in a panic, just trying to just close it.
So I have a fair amount of occult knowledge. Is this anything that I've heard of or read about?
Cult-wise, no. This isn't something you would have necessarily. Okay. You have heard of. I would have said, especially with your readings, how some things like boxes were very much linked to whoever they belonged to, and sometimes when people died, people created an attachment to certain objects.
Did I ever read about if it helps to give the thing back to the person or not?
What you know is that it's probably different in every situation, because you don't know what the box meant to the individual.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and see if I can get it to stop turning and stop playing.
Okay. Could you roll a strength, please?
So yeah, I'm pushing it down, so don't get your fingers trapped in there.
I'll try not to. Yeah, it's a failure. I'm gonna push the roll.
Okay.
Yeah, that went down 1 point. That's still a failure.
Marjorie, can you just roll me one more strength, please, as you start to close this? There's a moment where Jack, your hand slips and the music gets faster and faster, and you can hear as the little feet start running down these stairs, and somewhere it's in your own head, as you can hear that croaky sort of as it starts running towards the elevator. And at that moment you look up as the doors start to close at this almost little girl-esque thing, but she's on all fours and starting to run towards you. And the door and this box lid, you see a pair of long fingers with red nails come over the top as you then slam it shut. And the elevator starts to go down.
With us in it?
With you in it.
And so the doors close and she doesn't get up to us?
She doesn't get in. You
Okay,
have the box. It is closed. You can see that it is trying to open, but on the extreme
Can
success,
I
you can hold it.
Pull the crank out.
Yeah, roll another strength to see. In fact, no, on an extreme success, I'll say you'll be able to snap
Okay.
the crank off.
So I want to snap the crank off so it can't turn anymore.
Mm-hmm.
As the doors like close and like she's like almost there, like Jack's like wide-eyed and just like
Jack, we have to keep our heads. We have to keep cool heads here.
This never, that's what is this? I mean, this, it's not true. Like it's not
Jack, it is true, and we need to keep cool heads.
This gotta, and
I need you to focus, Jack.
But I was just a little girl, and
and now we're in an elevator. She's outside. We're here.
What? Okay.
There is a bing as your elevator opens.
And he kind of like startles a bit. He's like almost hugging his camera, like keeping it close.
Marjorie feels in her pocket, and she has a pocket knife in her pocket. She just makes sure it's there.
And he looks down, and his camera, like he took his last thing, and so he's like gonna reach in and actually like wind it and take the film out and pop it in a canister, and he's gonna like very shakily but expertly refilm the camera as he then like clicks it and winds it and gets it ready for a brand new roll.
You can feel like your hand shaking. You can hear it rattle as you're putting the film in. And Marjorie, you reach for that penknife you have. And somewhere else, a door bings. And Buster and Billy, you're in this elevator. And
if I may, Alice, we've had
Yes?
a donation from Sarah Elkinney. Sarah, $100 to get Greg to draw from the deck of many, please.
Yes, please.
I have the deck of many right here, Greg. What we'll do is I'll keep shuffling until you say stop. When you say stop, I'll take the top card.
Stop.
Throne card.
Ooh.
Okay.
I'm gonna be mayor for sure.
Yeah, that
You're
presidency
gonna be
is
on the
right
throne.
in your grasp.
Okay then. So you, Buster and Billy, you are going down in this elevator. And it's going down. And it pauses for a moment. And could you both roll me a listen check, please?
I am all ears.
I succeeded as well.
You both stand there, staring at that elevator door, waiting for it to open. And you can hear breathing.
Can I hit a button to go somewhere else?
If you want, you can press the button to go somewhere else.
I mean, is
you,
it sinister
like,
breathing? Yeah.
I'd say it's pretty sinister. However, Billy, as much as you could see, like, Buster heading over to the buttons, you're the one who realizes it's coming from inside the elevator.
It's in here. It's in here, Buster. It's in here,
What?
like open for adventure. Thank you for the raid. It's in here with us.
Where are these raiders coming from?
I don't
Buster,
know.
you looking up?
What's that? What's Buster doing?
Did you
He
just
died?
look up?
Sure. Yes. Buster looked up.
You made the gesture, I'm just asking. You look up, and very close to your face is a woman. Sort of, her hair hangs low, and you realize it's just been scraping the top of both of your heads as she clings, almost like a spider, to the roof of this thing. And her eyes blink sideways as she looks at you and sort of croons her head, and as she moves, you hear that clatter on the top of the ceiling as those red fingernails that sort of crawl along the top. And she looks at you.
If there is an open door button, Buster is hitting the open door button.
I'll let you sleight of hand spam the open door button as you look for it.
I don't
As you start to do this, you notice her mouth drops and starts to stretch long as if her jaw drops. And as you're looking, you are slapping every single button but the open door button.
You're right there, Buster, are you?
Up.
Now, as soon as you say that, I really don't want to look up, like, at all.
Could you make a sanity check, please, Buster?
I failed this one. There's just no conceivable way that Buster...
Yeah, just 2. Just lose 2, and you're sort of trying to keep your eyes away from it, and you won't stop looking. And what I will say from this donation, you can see where you've hit a button and the elevator has stopped. You can hear it bing, and it opens just about this far. And you can see you're between levels. You can see at your eye height. You can see a corridor with another elevator in it. And what looks like a set of stairs up onto deck. And almost as these doors open, you hear this as she starts to move around the top of the ceiling and drops her feet down and hangs there, looking at you, slowly lowering herself down.
Nope. Nope, nope, nope.
Billy, is she staring right at me?
She stares right at you, and as she does, there's a moment of almost like as you blink, you're no longer in the elevator. You were sat at your desk in your office. You've called it the throne a few times, let's be honest. As you sit there proudly with those velvet red curtains behind you. And your secretary, who, she does a good job. She's messed up a few times. And she wasn't quite right for you. You fired her. It was no big deal. You fired loads of people. But there's a distinct moment when you remember her bright red nails that she used to sit at her desk and paint. As she looks down at you with that smile and that sort of almost bob of jet black hair as you sit at your desk. And she blinks sideways.
Sideways, what?
And you're back in the elevator.
Is she still staring at me?
She is staring at you. She is locked onto you.
Then what Buster would say is, Billy, old chap, go on and climb up out of here. I got this.
All right.
You can easily pretty much pry this open, and I will say, Jack and Marjorie, as you do, you can see what looks like these elevator doors opening and Billy pulling himself up, trying to pull himself out from where this elevator is.
Do we remember? We remember him from the line, right?
Yeah. Oh, you remember the singing Scotsman?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he was my taxi driver on the way in. So like, we're out of the elevator now? Are we still in the elevator? He's climbing into our elevator.
No. You both you step out into a corridor. He's climbing out from the second elevator you heard, trying to get into the corridor.
I'll run over and immediately.
There are things we should go back there. We should go the way you came. Don't go that way. It's there are bad things.
No, you can't go that way either. It's
You are stood in a
Buster
corridor
Pratt,
where
Deputy Mayor of Pasadena, he's dead.
He's dead.
Yeah, dead. As far as I know, last I saw.
Dead.
What happened?
I left him in an elevator with a little girl, and now he's probably dead. Yeah.
A little girl. That's what we had. And then I'm gonna help pull Billy out of the elevator.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. You are all in a corridor where you can see this long hallway, like that wooden panels again, that tortoiseshell wooden panels, those lamps on the side, and a set of stairs that looks like it goes up on deck. You can see rain thundering down and that howling wind. But Buster, you stepped in this elevator as this woman lowers herself off the ceiling and starts to walk towards you. And she puts a hand sort of on your chest and just runs it up over your shoulder.
In my defense, I didn't get a bunch of messages.
And she smiles. And she leans her other head, her head on your shoulder, on your other shoulder. And she starts to hum that song as she takes your hand and waltzes with you in the elevator.
He'll waltz with her. Because what do you do?
I will say you can hear Billy, Marjorie, and Jack on the other side. But there's a moment where you hold her in your arms, and when she sort of looks back up at you, you can see very hollow eyes, stretched skin. And you can feel those nails dig into your shoulder.
He would start to hum poorly the song. Help! Help!
You can all hear this as she's...
As I do.
We should help.
I actually want to, like, as he's dancing, I actually want Buster to feel a hand on his shoulder as I want Jack to reach in and try to pull him up.
Can you roll a strength for me as you're literally trying to pull him out of this thing?
I will gladly. I'm not a strong person. Oh, success on the nose!
Describe it for me. How are you pulling him out?
So as I hear him like start humming and that first help, Jack will look over and will immediately just dive into that like slightly open elevator door. Will grab, and as Marjorie was just encouraging him, Jack will kind of like mutter to Buster, come on, Deputy Mayor, I got you. No need now. This isn't the time to die. And then I'm gonna pull him up and like kind of just drag him, and like my arms will scrape against the edge of the elevator, like just kind of bruising and cutting them as I just ignore it, pulling him out and into the corridor where we are, away from whatever it is that has him.
There is a moment where you've got like the mayor round the chest and round almost his side, sort of gripping him and pulling him up, and this woman looks towards you, and you can see that face stretch and this hiss come out as you pull his foot through the door. It slams shut, and you see this red nail break off and drop to the floor the other side.
And I'll have a moment of realization of the red nailed hands that were coming up out of the box. that we slam shut and just kind of shake it off as I try to like will myself to not believe as I just pull him to safety. I got you. I got you, Deputy Mayor. You're fine. You're safe. It's all good.
What is this?
He would fall into Jack's arms. I mean, just hug him. Oh my God. She. He points at the elevator door. If she comes back, someone get some files for her to alphabetize. That'll stump her.
I don't know what's going on, but I don't think we're quite on the maiden voyage of the Queen Mary anymore. If we are, it's straight to hell. I don't know what to believe anymore, but we've seen some things. We were investigating the dining room, and I found blood and girls and large things. And
In case everyone forgot, we need to move.
yes,
You hear
yes,
Yes, we should move.
You hear her.
Now,
Like
move
a
toward the stairs.
fire
Okay.
axe or bottle or conveniently placed set of cross swords on a wall somewhere.
I will say you are in this corridor is pretty empty other than the lamps and stuff on the side. The other thing I will say is that it looks odd because this corridor looks like it belongs on one of the levels of the cabins. However, you can see concrete steps on the way up where this rain is hitting the top deck. And could you all make a spot hidden check for me, please?
hard success.
I'm gonna push that.
Okay.
There we go.
All of you see this. You stand in this corridor, some of it like you've stepped away from the elevators. You've got a long corridor ahead of you, and it's like it starts to stretch away, almost like your perception is off. And you look towards these wooden panels, and they almost bulge and move as if like liquid, as they sort of, every now and then you think you can see a hand pass through or a face, and then these other sort of shapes start to appear. And it is dark in here, but what I will say is that you can see that the wood, it's like it starts to not crack, but when wood burns and it starts, that blackness starts to creep over the walls, and it still bulges and it still moves. And Buster, somewhere you hear a voice in your head. Can you hear it? And there's a moment where these walls start to move and bulge, and then they start to break away as these creatures start to almost fall out of the walls, out of the ceiling, these bizarre, very tall, very long, gangled limbs. The limbs don't look as if they belong in these places as they start to scour on the floor, and their heads go up. No eyes, no nose, but there are these long mouths as they sniff the air. And almost in a moment, they all turn, look at you, tip their heads, and there's around 20 of these things as it's like they're pulling themselves out of the wall.
Alice,
Yes,
you said you had a boss monster prepared.
I do.
Someone's just donated $500.
Thank you.
That's amazing!
Oh my goodness!
I'm terrified, but that's amazing!
Oh my goodness, thank you so much!
As these things then start to meld out of the wall and take position, the elevator behind them bings and opens.
No.
And this huge creature ducks underneath, almost 9 foot tall, These long, almost, you would say skeletal in shape, but this isn't a skeleton. You can see this almost warped face in front of you as it stands as if not quite shaped right, and all of these things sniff the air. And this thing starts to get down on all fours. And even on all fours, this thing is bigger than each of you.
And we're sandwiched between the two creatures, and then the lots of creatures, and then this thing.
And then this thing, and you can see the door to the deck, the other side. And there's a moment where it bows down, its limbs up and bent. And you hear the as it bows, and it starts to run towards you.
And
Is there a lifeboat?
No, you're not on deck.
Yeah,
But these
no.
things start to move. You can see the little ones start crawling up the side of the walls and on their way up to the ceiling. I need you all to roll, first of all, a sanity check to see if you
Yep, fair.
stay
Yep.
frozen in place.
Fair. Yeah.
I don't like that. Hang on a minute, I didn't draw my
I'm
sanity.
gonna use my. Oh, it doesn't have a sanity number on here for me. Hang on.
Oh my god. Can I push
well,
that?
it was gonna happen at some point, wasn't it?
There we go.
No, I won't.
Okay,
I won't push it.
I'm gonna use my
It's fair.
inspiration on this and reroll. No, I'm gonna push that. Yeah, I feel like.
Push mine as
No,
well.
I won't.
I'm gonna
I'm
push
just
mine.
gonna push.
Yeah.
I'm gonna push.
Okay, all those who
Nope.
failed.
Stop. Still fail. Oh no.
Oh, critical failure. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna roll you an extra one. Yeah. Please take
Oh,
8
goodness.
sanity loss, please.
Yeah, I fail.
Yeah, you just take 4.
Okay. Losing 4 sanity.
And this thing comes tearing towards you. And I'm going to need you to make a dodge roll as this thing comes swiping towards you. These long, almost pointed fingers dripping with this almost black, as dark as a void, as it reaches for you.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe I passed that.
Oh my god.
Is this all of us dodge roll?
No, this is just those who failed.
I see.
So, Marjorie, you sort of see it coming. As much as you sort of panic, you still feel that breath get sucked in and you drop as this hand comes straight over. And by you dropping, it comes straight into Jack. And Jack wraps almost, it's so big that one finger can curl around your neck and the upper half of your torso as you feel like you're being lifted.
And
You
the
can
entire
feel
time
this burning
I'm-
sensation as it starts to crush you.
I'm like frozen in fear, but the only thing that's working is my finger as I am just constantly clicking the photo button, the shutter button of my camera, taking as many photos as I can, because it's like my finger just muscle memory, but I'm frozen and I'm being crushed as I'm
Yeah, please
just in a pure
lose.
panic.
Please lose one health, because as you do it, you can feel this burn. And those of you who can see, you see this smoke start to arise from Jack's shirt as this blackness starts to seep across him. And
Jack is trying to scream, but he is so frightened that it's just nothing's coming out. His mouth is
Oh
just.
my gosh.
as you open your mouth, it's almost like it takes this opportunity as this blackness starts to seep up your throat, heading for your mouth. Billy,
No.
I need you to roll. I'll let you roll a dexterity to try and weave yourself in between these. And
That's very kind.
Mare, you can either roll a performance, you can roll a dex. I'll even let you roll a sleight of hand, unless there's something else you can think of, in particular on how you want to do this.
Welcome in, World Anvil. Thank you very much for the raid. We're raising money for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Our new stretch goal is $4,000. We're currently only $250 away. We're running from a great big boss monster that was donated exactly 6 minutes ago.
Persuasion or psychology?
Actually, yeah, you can use either one of those as well.
Okay. Come on. Come on! Son of a bitch!
Describe what the mayor is doing.
So, I gotta play this up. The mayor would see as Jack gets pulled away, and knowing that just moments ago Jack had saved him in the elevator, Buster is not a Jack. And Buster would see that and pull away from Jack, and he'd pull his hand up to his chest and put his arm like he's dancing, and he would begin to waltz through the 20 on his way to the stairs in an effort to be one of them. And if he had a coin, he would twirl it in his hand.
And you're starting to weave through these things, and there's this moment where you think you're getting away with it. These creatures
I'm gonna push it. Oh, wait a minute. I haven't pushed it yet. Come on!
You weave through these creatures, you sort of waltz, and as you do, one of them comes right up to your face, sort of sniffs you a moment, and then ducks almost underneath your arm very fluidly as it moves towards Marjorie. Marjorie, could you roll me a dex, please, or a dodge as you're trying to get through this crowd to get to the unless you want to try save Jack.
Jack's being attacked by one of the creatures.
The creature.
The creature.
The really big one that is currently, you can see him starting to contort, and this blackness, as I said, seeping up over his
Do I know
face.
anything in my occult knowledge about how I could help here?
You have the knowledge more that the longer this thing holds on to him, he hasn't got long.
So I need to break its I take the, oh god, this is not gonna go well. I try it anyway. I'm gonna take the music box and I'm gonna throw it at its head, trying to distract it and get it.
Okay, roll me a, I think throw's an actual skill, is it? Yes, throw. Could you roll throw for me, please?
Oh, this is not gonna go well.
Yeah, you throw this box and it sort of sails past its head, and it looks at you for a moment as this box clatters across the floor and opens wide.
Of course it does. Yep.
And you hear something coming up the elevator. Billy, I need you to make another dex check just to weave through to get to the last stage as these things start crawling across the ceiling, grabbing for you.
So far, having Jack or Billy, sorry.
Billy.
Oh, sorry. So far, having passed that last dex check, I was like weaving between them like a deer running through trees. You know what I mean? With the back legs, sort of like. Let's see if
You can meet eyes with Buster as you go through, sort of acknowledging you can see each other.
Nah, he's happy. I'm just gonna keep on dodging on through. Duck and weave, duck and weave. One gets a bit close, maybe I'll pop a left hook, but not too keen. Just gonna keep on weaving through.
I was gonna say, a heads up, don't touch it. Okay.
So as Jack is being consumed and the smoke is pouring into his mouth, he kind of like wide-eyed is like looking at the situation and sees Marjorie toss the music box, and as it opens, he sees it, and in a last-ditch effort, as he's just and he's going to toss his camera to Marjorie to just go.
So you're not going to try fight your way out of this?
He is going to attempt to distract it as best he can so that they can flee to safety.
Okay, roll a brawl for me, please.
I will. What am I rolling?
A brawl, please.
Where is that?
Where is that one?
Very bottom of
fighting
the...
Oh, I see it. I see it. I see it. I see it. Yep. I see it. Here we go. Oh, God.
You start to fight this thing. You lash out, and as you do, you see it almost irritated take its other hand and grip, and it starts to bend you, and you do not go in this sort of direction, and you can feel that searing pain, like that burning, as it comes through, and that black liquid starts to fill your mouth and your nose as you fall into this void. Like, and you take 10 health. Gone.
And that's me.
As it starts to almost absorb you, and the rest of you see as this liquid starts to run through, and his body starts to contort, and he starts to almost melt through this creature's hand. And then this thing turns and looks to all of you.
As I disappear and like was going in motion to toss my camera just clatters to the ground and kind of hits as the last bit of me, as my eyes are like wide-eyed and my face of just pure terror as the liquid absorbs into my mouth and the rest of my body forms into this creature, and then nothing.
And then Marjorie, I'll let you manage to. You can run and you can
grab the
scoop
camera
up
and I'm
that
gonna sprint to the deck.
You scoop up that camera, that one last look back, and in this cheap.
And I'm gonna snap a picture of the thing as we go.
You snap
as I sprint.
As you turn, you snap, and the flash goes off, and you hear these screeches of these creatures that, as it sort of goes, and you see that face of Jack sort of stretching out of this creature's chest for a moment as it disappears back deep in. You all sprint up these stairs. You head out onto the deck. You can feel that rain, that refreshing rain, and you look out over the ocean.
Is there a lifeboat?
Lifeboat!
There is a lifeboat.
Sweet. I run to it.
Same.
Come on, we have to go now.
Yes. Jack will never forget you, sorry.
If there are any preservers along the way, like along the wall.
Oh yeah, there's some all the way. Like, you can gather as many as you want as you go.
Yeah, Buster looks like the Michelin Man with them around his neck and around two arms, and he would hand them off as soon as they would get further along and just keep grabbing them.
Put them on and start to go. I mean, let's try and get out of here.
Agreed.
You run and you throw yourself in the boat. You can hear this scurry as these things almost sort of spew out of this corridor up these stairs, crawling through the ceilings, the walls, the corridors, and they're heading towards the boat. What would you like to do?
I want to lower the boat, get it gone.
Sleight of hand, please.
Oh, jeez. Ah, jeez.
I should not be manning one of the things.
So yeah, if I can't untie my end, I'm gonna cut it.
I'm gonna push that.
Okay.
Oh, not good.
I don't know that I have anything to cut it with, but I've got teeth.
We need to cut the rope. I have a knife.
Hey,
I will
if you
let
can't undo
you-
it, cut it.
I take out my knife.
Yeah, you start to sort of cut through this thing as there's a moment where these things start swarming, almost enveloping the ship's deck. You see these deck chairs just sort of almost disappear, become part of these creatures, and this huge one, now wearing Jack's face, steps out from underneath, and it bows and canters towards you, and you slice that rope.
I'd like to undo my end as well.
Go, go, go! I
move
toss
it.
him. Yeah.
And as you do,
I'm gonna push it.
Take
I'm
my knife.
gonna push it. Ah! You give me the knife.
Here.
and you do, as this thing swipes towards you, you feel these fingertips almost graze the top of your head. As the rain hits past you, it's almost like it almost blurs your vision, and you feel your stomachs drop as you feel the lifeboat plummet, and you hit the water. You stand on the deck. You stand at New York Port. As you're there, the port of New York is busy with excitement. There's seagulls overhead. There's people laugh, chatter, and bid farewell to those who are going on the trip of a lifetime.
What?
The huge ocean liner, the Queen Mary, sits at the dock. And people are smiling, compiling onto the ship. The staff are both welcoming and carrying luggage up the gangplanks. And there's a huge vessel which just oozes luxury. And you all stand there together, the three of you dripping wet, looking up. And on the gangplank at the other end, you see someone in a captain's uniform look towards you as Jack tips his captain's hat towards you, rolls the coin in between his fingers, puts a hand on his chest, a hand out, and waltzes up the gangplank. And that's where we'll leave.
Do I still have my knife in my hand?
You do, but that's where
I hand the camera to the mayor, give it to the Times, and I sprint up the gangplank.
You watch Marjorie sprint up the gangplank. The gangplank drops. Queen Mary sails away. And Buster and Billy, you are left on the dock. As you watch, and underneath your feet, stomped in mud, are your ship tickets.
Not smoking ever again.
Let's go get a drink. Let's go get a drink, but this time, no peat in it.
You both turn and you walk away. And there's a man carrying luggage. And he looks up and he goes, oh, missed it. Oh well. Next time, eh? As the captain walks past and gives you a smile in a waistcoat, shirt, and jacket. And that is where we'll end your Cthulhu this evening.
Ah! Oh my goodness! Right. Oh,
So good.
Oh, so good.
so good.
I have goosebumps.
Thank you so much, everyone, for your
Oh
support this session.
gosh.
Thank you, players. Thank you, Alice. We're gonna go round nice and quick for a nice quick wrap up. We're pushing close a little to time. We'll go the other way around and start with Flash Fetch. Dustin.
I'm Dustin Fletcher. You can find me on Twitter at FlashFletch, and you can or at D4D&D RPG. I am one of the codiums of D4. We stream every Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern time on twitch.tv/rockpunchatl or twitch.tv/D&D. And we are a horror and emotionally real 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons game. Oh man.
Next around, we
So
have
good.
Dreamwisp Jen.
I am Jen Kretschmer. That was so awesome. You can find me on Twitter as Dreamwisp, on Twitch as Dreamwisp Jen. I am part of D&D Beyond Heroes on D&D Beyond on Wednesdays from 2 to 4. I'm so in that. It's so exciting. I can't words. And I am helming up the D&D book club. So look on Twitter, and that information is there. We have a Discord. We're reading books. It's exciting. Yeah, breathing. So yeah, that's me. Yay!
Next round.
So good.
Tales from the Grim. Greg.
I know we have to be quick. That was absolutely amazing. Alice, chef's kiss. That was everything that a one-shot Cthulhu could ever hope to be. No one can top that. At best, they could match it, but I don't know who. That was absolutely amazing. Super, super, unbelievably atmospheric. Unbelievably immersive. It was incredibly fun. This cast is amazing. Scrat, for the fact that you've been up for 17,000 hours, it's amazing. Everybody keep giving to this fantastic cause. It is great. It is wonderful. Hard work and fun being put in by all. Tales being told. Absolutely fantastic. Grimjack21502 on the Twitter. But don't worry about that. Give. Fun. Stories and kindness. And I have one question, though. When do we start the campaign, Alice?
Seriously.
That.
Yeah. Yes, please.
Alice.
Oh, hi, I'm Alice. I'm also WhiteRabbitPic on Twitter. That is where you can find me. I like the spoops. I like telling stories with friends. And this group was so amazing to do it with. As you can tell, I like spoops.
Why did the music get so intense when you started outroing? What the heck?
I swear I don't time this. Otherwise, yeah, please, thank you everyone, and thank you to chat for the donations, for adding to the story, for all of this good cause. It's such an important one. But thank you to all of these wonderful players. Please go check them out. They do amazing, amazing things. And I'll hand back over to Scrat as the music gets spookier again.
Yes, indeed. Thank you. Well, yes, when Alice isn't painting horrifying TTRPG scenes,
I do wholesome.
She's taking wonderful snaps of beautiful scenes with her camera. You should go and check them out. I promise. She makes as beautiful photography as she does horror visages. I'm not going to do anything for me. I'm here. It's me. Hi. I'm going to take 20 minutes. We're going to be back in a minute. B. Dave Walters is going to be running a level 20 campaign. The last thing he said to us in the group chat is, I don't know if it's clear or not, that I'm going to be giving you guys everything because I'm going to be kind of merciless. So that's going to be fun. And I mean that in the most genuine of senses. I'm going to put 20 minutes on the clock. We'll see you in 20 minutes.
Go, Dave!
Catch you in a bit. Bye.
Bye.